Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Today is the lecture 1, Introduction to Instructional Design. There are no single definition what means by instructional design. Okay, in this lecture 1, we will understand about some of the example of the learning outcome to understand underlying principle, what means the definition, and also the importance of the instructional design. Okay, so if you can see here, Eddie is one of the model. It's important if we happen to understand about what is ID. Okay, I want you to go through all this, and if you can see here, there are no single definition. What is instructional design? You can Google. There are a lot of the definition. I don't want you to memorize all this. Okay, but the underlying principle is about adult learning theory. Okay, the design theory. So if we talk about the design theory, there are a lot of the design theory. You can happen to see that the for example, like constructivist, behaviorist, cognitivist theory. Try to Google what means by that. Okay, so this is the important about the instructional design. There are a lot of the definition. You can read through this one, and I don't want you to stick to only one single definition. Okay, so the underlying principle, what we need to know is about there are application of theory, and if we mention theory is about the constructivist just now that I mentioned, behaviorist, and also the cognitivist. Technology, Web 2.0, we have the educational 4.0, IR 4.0. That is all the changes in the technology. Like it or not, we have to bear with that. Augmented reality, virtual reality, then we change the way we design the learning material, the way we design the content. Psychology is also very important. Why? Because cognitive, brain, the way we connecting, the way we see the relationship between content is will affect the way we design. Okay, go to YouLearn. You can see one of the video explain about the do and don'ts, the skill needed to be the good instructional designer. Okay, and this is all the instructional design theory based. Okay, for example, like you can see the communication, why we need to understand what is the rule of 7 plus minus 2. Okay, and also behaviorism, constructivism theory that I mentioned just now. What is the advantage? Okay, if you can see here in the learning, we need to understand the component, we need to understand the assessment. This is just to make sure that the learning happen. Okay, step by step. Okay, what is the idea? All right, so if you mention here, there are a lot of the model. Yeah, then the model need to be understood so that for example, like for this subject, you will try to imagine you as an instruction designer. You will design the content, and you need to understand what is the underlying principle behind the content. Okay, so this is all about Eddie model. You can see here the process. So get through this, and this one is the one of the famous one. All right, based on Getney model. Yeah, the component involved in the design. All right, so I want you to get through all this, and just this is the bigger things about, because this is the first lecture. All right, so that by underlying the main things in this subject, you will understand more, because we will cover detail in the later in the future topics. Yeah, so the simply put here is the design, develop, evaluate. Yeah, what is the instructional technology, and what actually the instructional technologies do. Okay, so this is some of the things that I need you to understand. What is the educational technology? There are a lot of the terms in this subject. All right, so don't make yourself confused. Okay, so what I want you to do is to apply the theory of instruction. What is the learning theory? What is the behavior? What means by cognitive? In order to understand the assessment, design, the chunking of the content, how we implement the platform is all needed. Okay, so I want you to understand this one. What is the technologies? What is the psychology involved in any designing process? Okay, so as a summary, all right, so it seems that the instructional technology, instructional design is very important, and I hope that every one of you will understand this, and because this one, it will be the process that we learn throughout the subject. Okay, so till then, see you again in week 2. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.